Welcome back to Boat Hobos and cruising with a baby. This is our second YouTube video, and this video is going to be about our first week on board with Daisy. Just to give you a bit of background information, our boat was hauled out and left on the Hard in Antigua when we went back to have her in England, and the boat was on the Hard for 6 months. We flew back to Antigua when Daisy was just before 4 months. Simon went around to North Sound Marina and picked up the boat while I spent a couple of days in an Airbnb so that he could get the boat ready, have it hauled back in, do the anti-fouling, etc., and then he sailed it around to meet us where we were, and I stepped on board with Daisy. The boat was in a bit of a state. There was stuff everywhere. We had about 6 bags of baby paraphernalia that we'd brought back with us. There was mould everywhere. So our first week was basically spent trying to sort out the boat and trying to get used to having a baby on a boat. And we were also our first child, so new to parenting, and yeah, I found it it's quite a bit of a stressful week for me, I have to say. Had quite a few tantrums and meltdowns, and to top it off, everything that we'd vacuum packed, including all our bedding, was mouldy. It was a bit of a nightmare. So here's a montage of whatever videos I took then in between my meltdowns. 1 hour until we land in Antigua. Simon!
Oh, hello.
Wow, hi guys, so we're back on the boat and it's pretty epic. There's stuff everywhere. It's been tidied up a bit, but there's a layer of mildew across everything, and I'm having a mummy meltdown. I'm trying to get stuff done, but I have to look after the baby all the time, and there's not really anywhere to put her. I'll show you her now. She's just sleeping. Where is she? There's a baby. She's pulled all Matt and Amy's clothes on her face and then gone to sleep. So, this is what the boat currently looks like. It's a little bit of a mess. Stuff everywhere. There's a baby in there, sleeping on the bed. There's mildew on all the cupboards. Here. Nice big lumps of mould. Everything's got to be wiped down, including this. Pretty disgusting. Having to wash up absolutely everything all over again because even pots and pans were covered in mould. The only priority the first night was making sure we all had a clean bed to sleep in. While we'd been away, one of the port light windows in the bedroom had a leak. All the water drained down onto a cot that Simon had made for Daisy and rotted some of the wood, made it really mouldy. So before I could do anything with the baby, I had to clean her cot up as best I could. We were also on the boat in the Caribbean, so there's loads of mosquitoes. Initially the cot we made when we got on actually with her just wasn't it just didn't feel right. We'd made it out of old cupboard doors, and so therefore the gaps in between the slats were slanted, and as soon as I put her in there she slipped her arm through, and it twisted round. So I ended up putting a Cody pop-up cot inside, which worked really well, as the bars stopped the cot from falling on the floor if we were to roll around, even though we were in the marina for the night. But it also meant I could zip her up and keep any mosquitoes out, so that worked really well for us. Here's Daisy's Cody pop-up cot inside the cot that we made on board. We stayed in the marina for one night, and then we moved out onto the anchorage at Jolly Harbour, basically because the marina was too expensive, we couldn't afford it, and yeah, that was just the choice that we made. In hindsight, it would have been nice to stay in the marina a bit longer, but to be honest, there was no breeze in the marina, and you just get loads of mosquitoes, so it was much nicer to move out on the anchorage. It meant that we'd have to start getting used to getting Daisy in and out the dinghy and putting her life jacket on, but the perks just outweighed staying alongside, to be honest. Here's all the family on a dinghy ride ashore, and Daisy tucked up safe in her life jacket. It was like wearing a giant hug. We recommend you test your baby's life jacket in a controlled environment, just to make sure that they float and that it keeps their head and face out of the water. Our friends Matt and Amy came to visit for a few days, so we celebrated moving Daisy on board with some bubbles.
Where did you get this from then?
That was from your mum, and she gave it to us before we left England.
Oh, really?
Daisy
Don't
Bing!
ruin the Holly's video.
What?
Ready?
I'm not even in it.
Wait,
What?
you missed it!
No, I think I missed it.
Very good.
When Matt and Amy left, we made up the front cabin into a playroom for Daisy. This was really lovely for me and Simon, as she hadn't had her own room since the day she was born. Clearly not a lot of playing going on here. Daisy didn't take too kindly to her first cold shower off the back of the boat, and I didn't feel very comfortable holding a wet, slippery baby on the back deck. So we exchanged the cold showers for nice warm baths in her inflatable bath in the cockpit.
Gonna wash Daisy, 'cause she is so gross.
Daisy, you having a bath?
Daisy?
Are you having a bath on the boat? Hello!
So you can see Mummy a bit better.
I try not to get her bits in it, because that would be inappropriate.
Oh, that would be so illegal, we'd be pedos.
We're just enjoying a spot of lunch on board, and here is Daisy chilling in her car seat. What you doing? You chilling? While we sit down and eat. Time for the morning ritual. Take Scrumpy ashore, fill up the fuel,
Scrubby!
pump up the flat dinghy, which is always bloody flat. Oh, Daddy, you better go. Baby's crying again.
Goodbye.
Bye. Daisy seemed to nap quite a lot during the day. We think down to the tropical heat that she wasn't used to. But we weren't complaining, of course. Afternoon swims were essential to keep everybody cool. Yeah, it's videoing.
Yeah.
What are we going to say?
Don't know, nothing to say.
This is us just chilling, walking along. Where's the dog? Scrumpy, where are you? There you are. Where's the Daisy bee? And that was pretty much the first few weeks we spent settling in. I've just been watching the videos back that I've put together for our second YouTube video.
Yep.
And all of them seem to paint a very happy picture of life on board, having lunch with Daisy, taking her swimming. Obviously, because I haven't taken videos of all the crap bits.
Because there was none.
Wasn't there any?
No, there's
So,
only loads.
I thought I'd ask Simon, how would you describe our first week on board with Daisy? Well, my mummy's first week on board with
It's
Daisy.
pretty manic. Like, she wouldn't leave you alone. You just had to be with her, and you had all the tidying to do and all the mould and everything like that. I don't know.
How nice of Simon. He says that he has forgot about the bad bits that I just reminded him
She's
about.
just reminded me that it was a week full of tantrums and screaming, and wouldn't get in the dinghy with Daisy and wouldn't go ashore, and it was too dangerous to go the 30 metres to the beach in the dinghy. But I had actually forgot about all of that. But that did all happen.
Getting around the boat, the assault course that is the boat holding a baby. Oh, and I forgot to add that when we first got on board and I tried to walk down the corridor into our back cabin,
You smashed it.
I cracked her head on the bulkhead, which was a great start. So I think the point I want to make here is if you decide to move on board with your baby, I would definitely probably not leave the marina after one night, and perhaps spend a bit of time getting used to being on board with a child, and also probably make sure that the boat is ready for you to just step on with the baby and chill.
And my final thought is that however bad it is, you'll forget about it, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, this is meant to be educational.
That's
Yeah.
the end.
Stay tuned, as our next video is going to be about Daisy's first passage.